my parents put money in a butter cookie can. No, my kid wants Bitcoin, bro.
I cannot imagine myself using those instruments to determine whether my kids goes to uni or not.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah. Hey, I will only start saving for the kid when the kid comes. But let's be real, nobody in a situation where you have family planning will be like, I don't save for a kid. If the kid miraculously come, then I start planning for a kid. Everybody will be like, okay, I want to plan for house, plan for kid. It's already there, right? But okay, let's be real. Real talk, single people. How much do you have in your, this is for going to the kid fund?
Actually, I think good question because for me, the first one was for house and then for wedding, right? Honeymoon and all the big items, right? Yeah. So I've already done that. Yeah, so the excess can all go into kids.
Oh, so now it's once you reach the goal already, then it happens, overflow.
Yeah, so just ensure you got enough, then okay, no problem.
It's so sad, no, in the future, kids, if you watch this, no, you're not overflow, okay? No, we plan for it. It's just that you are part 4 of the plan, step 4.
Afterthought.
So is it different for both of y'all, having to gone through that life stage where you have already passed the point of what we are saving for, which is house, marriage, right? Was kid in your original plan? How does that part of saving for a kid change?
Okay, so maybe a bit of background. Being in the industry actually opened our eyes to see a lot of milestones of different ones, right?
Right.
So like when we meet our different demographics of clients, we have like 60 pre-retiree, we have someone who, maybe just have a newborn and all. So it kind of prepped me as a single guy at that time.
Right.
So I think there are 2 ways, right, John? One is to plan for the nearest one and then you plan then on to the next.
Correct.
Yeah, but I think I did it a bit differently. For me, I did like a concurrent plan. Because I know that if I do like settle down, like, the housing, the reno, everything will come pretty quickly, or maybe in the next like 2-3 years.
It's also like a gauge. If your cash flow is like you have super tight cash flow at the current juncture, and at the same time you're thinking about having a kid, you know that something's gotta go. Right? You know that. And if you have sufficient, you're like, actually, even with my current surplus, I still can have a kid or 2 or 3.
Right.
Then you know you're in good space, right? Same thing for savings. If I've done my house, my wedding, I have sufficient funds, and I still have some more, you know that you have sufficient for a kid. Right? So it's that when that reality hits you that, oh, actually, I do want to have kids. Right? Regardless whether my partner wants it or not.
Okay.
I have the means to do so. Right. So having that gauge and having that space helps you to have a very good idea of whether you're ready or not. Yeah.
Right. So, Joel, does that planning for the kid changes for you? Now that you are promoted to single again with us, right? What happens then to that bit of the budget? Is it still like, okay, I'm just going to keep it as like a nest egg, it will eventually pop when it happens? Or is it just like, hey, maybe that is like, 6 steps ahead already at that point of time, and then I maybe can rearrange my budgeting? How does that work for you?
To be frank, actually, for me, so I don't know how Josh or a lot of people, they can do it concurrently, but I feel that that's the minority.
Right.
So even with my hundreds of clients over the years, right, it's a very step by step. That means sort of the philosophy of focus on one thing at a time. Yeah. So because of course, ideally is I want to plan for my wedding, plan for honeymoon, then car, then kid number 1, 2, 3. we have friends. We know this person who has 6.
Oh,
6 children.
Man's brave.
I don't think they plan for 6. I think it's come one at a time then start to plan. So for us, a lot of the focus was because we wanted to invest in a quality house, interior design, and also our marriage didn't last very long. So it wasn't like we were saving up for a child, even though that was the intention.
It never factored into the saving plan. Like not like what not like what Josh had, like, yes, I really knew I want. Maybe my plan says 2 children. It's like a policy that the government said. I mean, it's fair because it's very wild, especially now speaking of children, the new generation, it's very wild for us to predict. Like last time, right, in a kampong, right, people have children because they need farm hands. It makes sense. Okay, I need 6. Why? Because every farm one guy, then I own self go and take care of the cow. But now the generation is very different. The needs and requirements for all of us are also very different. Then we now exist in a very funny situation where My parents put money in a butter cookie can. My juniors are throwing money into Bitcoin apps. We are in this generation, right, where the money keeps changing. The way we handle money also keeps changing. And then I'm just like, okay, I think I'm just gonna leave like a small like sum for my kid so that the kid can do. No, my kid wants Bitcoin, bro. So wait, how do I then plan for the fact that now we are in this kind of situation, right? And then the instruments are all different. The ways that money move is different. The value of money itself also different.
Find a good financial consultant. Okay, no, but seriously, I think you want to find a strategy that best matches your lifestyle.
Okay.
Because I always say this, especially when it comes to credit card, right? Don't try to get 10 credit cards and you know you're not going to track every single credit card based on the category of spending you can make it on. You want to do something that fully or as much as possible aligns with your current lifestyle so that it becomes seamless, it becomes so convenient, it becomes part of you. So in terms of financial planning, right? There's so many things out there, but there's only so many things you can do, right? You can put in the can, you can put in the Bitcoin, but what really resonates with you in your lifestyle, your job, your daily activities, right? That should be the strategy that best works for you. Right? Keep it simple, right? Stupidly simple. Do things that work and matches your current pace of life.
Right.
Yeah.
On this side, standing on the so-called the greener pasture side, I always think that our pace of life is bigger because we have more funds that are not tied down. We are more open to trying things. But on the other side, right, they will think that they're greener pastures because their lifestyle will be different, right? Because you have many things that now you need to take care of. Your money, not say it's locked in, but it has been pre-sorted to a certain kind of like format for you to work with, right? Then has that financial plan for you changed, Josh?
Okay. Really good question. So I'm like starting to think as well, right? Okay, I will say if you're on a different season of life that you're okay to take more risks, right? Because you don't have a dependent, then by all means, I think you should try to go into like crypto or I mean, the dream is to make something small really large, right? But at the same time, I cannot imagine myself using those instruments to determine whether my kids goes to uni or not.
I mean,
it's probably gonna be yes. I think at a certain age, it would be great if I have certain form of like guaranteed amount coming in. I don't have to like, oh, if market down, then boy, I think you need to wait 2 more years. I mean, I can't tell them that. So it really depends. For me, I don't want to be the boring one to the younger crowd or the Gen Zs. But I think if you really plan it in such a way, any amount goes a long way. I always believe in compounding. I mean, okay, I will also add on that actually, if you think about it, your savings or your emergency funds, technically they are really more just for the short term. And it's just a safety net.
Right.
Any more that if you continue to just pump it in, then you need to question what's the purpose.
Yeah, it might be detractive to your lifestyle. Yeah. But here's the thing that I think it's fundamentally shifting the way people plan. Is the financial literacy for your children and for your dependents, like just funds for them to educate themselves. Like, okay, sure, right. If I buy insurance and I conk, they get the money. But how are they going to use it wisely? We now have to factor in the concept of, okay, I need to save some money, set some money aside for financial literacy for my entire family, for them to learn, right? So do we now have to also budget some, I would say, funding to make sure that, you give a kid like maybe, I don't know, some money to learn about, okay, how to invest, what is investment looking like, or maybe like pay skills future for your spouse to go and learn some like, skills about, okay, what is a good instrument, what is not a good instrument. Don't go and get pinned because the uncle in the market tell you, hey, this one buy sure got money, stuff like that. Do we now have to factor for that in, or is that just it's like my fourth child, 有就有，没有就没有。How do you see that part of financial literacy for your children? Like give them like an investment account, let them try, see what happens.
Actually, that's quite common. I do have like clients like, they're okay parting some funds for their kids to try it out. But at the same time, I think it comes with certain maturity lah. Depending on their age, definitely. I mean, 100%. We do have to teach them. Yeah, because for me, I grew up in a very, from a humble and I've always been taught to be a bit more frugal on myself.
Right.
But it's okay to be generous with others.
Yep.
Right. So it's like, how do I implement it into my own expense and all?
I think actually what you're talking about, right, is estate planning.
Right.
Right. There's a value system that you're trying to pass down.
Right.
You need a structure to do it through.
Right.
And you need the funding for it.
Right.
Right. And what you're talking about actually is this whole thing where we want to ensure that our kids, they have enough, or our beneficiaries, they have enough, when we kick the bucket, and the money goes to them in a responsible way,
right,
in which we have control over it.
Right.
And you pass down the values that you really intend for them.
Right.
And also at the same time not to spoil them, because we've seen so many cases where trust fund babies, they're splurging, they're going to crazy drug parties, and all these kind of things, right? And how do we ensure that our good gift doesn't become a curse for them?
Right.
Right. And that's where the whole structure of estate planning comes in to help you pass down exactly what you want, to ensure that they get it in a way that will best value their life.
Yeah, I think modeling maybe is what you are saying.
Right.
So quite interestingly, because my boy is going primary school next year, the schools and we are trying to teach him how to, count money, how to order food, how to make sure that you get the correct change and all. So at the same time, we're also teaching him actually when you get something, you can always put a portion into your piggy bank. I think we all grew up from that piggy bank.
Right.
And then, you really want to
want to break it.
Then you spend on it. And actually there's certain truth to that being a very good way of saving. Of course, we don't physically put it into a piggy bank. Right. But I think for kids when they are young, especially for my 6-year-old, I think him just taking something and putting into the piggy bank, and then eventually as he becomes more mature, right? And then teaching him how to hey, you can actually use this to put into something that grows, or then I think that tangible thing that they do will go a long way.
Yeah.
Right.
In fact, I have a friend, right? His father from a young age taught him how to invest. So he will show him his trade system. Him, okay, this is what I'm doing, right? And this is what you should do next time as well, because this will grow to a big sum.
Yeah.
And so my friend from a very young age of about 13, he already knew options.
Right.
So it's he's way ahead of the curve already. So I think these are things that specify to certain individuals. They have their own values that they want to pass down.
Right.
I mean, what's the purpose of it?
Right.
If it's to get away from my kids, I think representing all the married with children, there's no way we can do it.
Is emergency fund now or just mental health fund?
If it's fun for you, create the fun.